It's way too early to be forecasting what to expect for the cost of living adjustment for Social Security in 2027. And yet, some of the data is starting to come in and suggest a very interesting finding for what that could look like. I've got that data and what to expect, the early warning for Social Security cost of living adjustment 2027. That and more coming up. Every single year, usually announced sometime in the November time period, the Social Security Administration releases their cost of living adjustment for the next year, the COLA. Okay, and this is one of the features of Social Security where it does grow with inflation or does change with inflation over time. When you think about your various sources of retirement income, how many of them are expected to last your entire life? As long as you live, right? It's guaranteed. How many will be consistent despite market volatility, and how many will adjust for inflation and keep up with inflation? And I sort of want to use air quotes in that because we all know this is sort of a bogus rendition, doesn't fully keep up with it. But Social Security slays all three of those retirement income dragons. Those are the big issues that your retirement income strategy needs to address. And while it's imperfect, Social Security does slay those three dragons, or at least addresses them to some degree. And one of those is that cost of living adjustment. Take a look here at the history of these cost of living adjustments that we've seen throughout the Social Security history. And yeah, last year, so 2025 going into 2026, we saw a 2.8% increase. That's slightly above what it was the year before. Shortly before that, we had the really high inflationary times of COVID. And prior to that, we had pretty anemic increases to Social Security over those 10 years or so from, let's say 2008 to 2020. And during that time, that Medicare prices were going up. And so really retirees were feeling the squeeze. And so this is a very important announcement and development every single year is what is the cost of living adjustment. Well, that calculation, in order to determine the cost of living adjustment, this is not just sort of pull it out of thin air. It's actually a calculation of the CPI-W, not just the normal CPI, not the purchasing. It's CPI-W, okay, of the third quarter of the current year compared to the third quarter of the previous year. So just to level set here, for 2027, that's what we're talking about. It would be the third quarter CPI, so July, August, and September of CPI-W for 2026 compared to the same time period, third quarter, for 2025, July and August and September. Well, you might say, well, wait a second, how are we even talking about forecasts for 2027? We're halfway through the second quarter. We're not into the third quarter. Well, normally I would say, yeah, that's anyone that's debating this or sending out forecasts, they're just making it up. No, there is some interesting data that's starting to be developed or be visualized here for the previous 12 months of the CPI-W. We're starting to see some clear trends and yeah, frustratingly for all of us, prices at the pump are way up and we saw an uptick in inflation here just recently. And so it's starting to become clearer, well, what could we expect for the CPI-W from third quarter of 26 compared to third quarter of 2025? And then therefore, what does that mean for cost of living adjustment for Social Security for 2027? Guys, over the past 12 months, the CPI-W has increased approximately 3.9% over the past 12 months. Therefore, the early indication or projection for the cost of living adjustment for Social Security for 2027, somewhere between 4.2% and 3.9%. Taking the current trajectory, again, this previous 12 months, 3.9%, and saying, well, if we see gas prices continuing to stay high, and that has a trickle-down effect on other prices and inflation stays sort of stubborn throughout the summer, it's very likely we could see 3.9 to 4.2 and a cost of living adjustment. Now, the ideal scenario here is that this gasoline and fuel prices increase and the trickle-down effect from that is short-lived and just for a couple of months, and that we actually see inflation taper back off and get back to more calm levels and so on here shortly, and yet have a pegged in higher CPI-W when you do the calculation for Social Security, and therefore we see that 4%-ish or so cost of living adjustment to Social Security for next year in the midst of calm inflation. That would be the ideal scenario. Why? Because on the average Social Security, approximately a 4% increase would be about an $80 increase or so per month to the average Social Security check. And yet we also know Medicare prices and healthcare prices are going to be on the rise as well. So how much of that approximate average $80 per month does actually lands in your pocket to help seniors in retirement? We will hopefully a decent chunk of that. So that is your way too early prediction. We'll see how it actually unfolds. I'll give you updates right here on this channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as we know more about the CPI-W, but also when it comes to Social Security, we want to make sure that you are planning ahead and that you are optimizing your Social Security. We know it's going to change. We know every single year there can be some adjustments to Social Security. What are you assuming for the inflation adjustment in your financial plan? And how are you going to optimize your Social Security so that it provides the right foundation to the right retirement income plan for your situation? Work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.